Hi, my name is Aaron Solomon. I'm with Frontier Fire Protection. I'm sitting here with Josh Tanner with Autocall. And today we'd like to go over really what is addressable notification compared to conventional notification that we're all familiar with. And here we've got an infographic that really displays exactly the two things that we're talking about here. So conventional testing, when we have a fire alarm that's installed in pretty much every building we're used to, whether it's a residential housing facility with a condo, an apartment building, townhouse building with a fire alarm system, or standard commercial application or healthcare application or education schools on all different levels, whether it's K through 12 or higher education. With a traditional conventional notification system in there, we have to go there and do testing, which is required by code. We set the devices off. It makes a lot of noises for hours on end. You're going out there testing, you're gonna find deficiencies, or even through a regular standard service call, you have something wrong in the building. There's something that's not working right. Now we're testing multiple devices. It's making a lot of noise. We've got two technicians that are out there in the field that are walking back and forth, setting the system off, doing what we need to do. It becomes a nuisance. All right, everyone has experienced that. So what does Autocall have that's different than your traditional conventional notification devices that really improves this?
Yeah, totally. So as you said, the conventional way to test is very disruptive. So we've come up with a way to actually self-test the system. So all of our notification appliances are actually addressable. So they're all speaking to the panel, constantly communicating, letting them know that they're connected. And then when you want, there's actually 3 options for testing. So the first one, as you can see in the infographic, is automatic. What that is your technician goes there, basically just presses a couple buttons on the system and says run self-test. All of the devices in the system are gonna beep and flash as they should. And the sensors inside the devices are actually gonna confirm back to the panel that every one of those devices flashed and made the noise that they're supposed to make. That test is actually in compliance with NFPA 72. And
I was going to ask that question.
Yeah, so that's the automatic format. And then there's also a scheduled format. So a lot of people say, when's a good time to test a hotel? Or when's a good time to test a dormitory? Well, exactly. Yeah. Or healthcare. There's never a really good time. So in an application like an office building, right? Nobody's typically there at 1 a.m. in the morning. So we can actually do a scheduled test. The technician doesn't have to be there after hours. They can literally program the panel to test every Sunday night at 1 a.m. Or maybe it's just on an annual basis, the first Monday of the year at 1 a.m. So that's the scheduled option. And then there's actually a third manual option. So some jurisdictions are apprehensive of using the same technology that has been approved by NFPA and UL, but they're still apprehensive. So for those jurisdictions, we actually have the ability to take a magnetic wand. You put the system on test, you take a magnetic wand, you walk up, and you hit that one device, and that one device is going to make noise and flash while you're looking at it, and therefore you don't have the disruption of the entire building going off at the same time. So this can be done on a per floor basis, or just one at a time, however you want to set it.
So now, if we can do a couple things when it comes to the scheduled testing. So if we do a scheduled test, how do we know that the test was completed?
So when you come in the morning, there will actually be, if any of the devices didn't function, you're actually going to have a trouble on your system that actually says this device did not function, and it's going to latch. It's not going to let you clear that trouble until you fix that appliance. Right. And yeah, it's basically the report sitting right there on the panel waiting for you to say these 1,000 devices function and this one did not. Right. So you go and replace it, you retest it, and they all blink and flash for a second, and you got a new report that says 100% good to go.
So in the old style, we're going out there, we're doing an annual inspection, and we're making all this noise throughout the building. But with an Autocall addressable notification, we're still going to go out there and do the inspection, and we're going to fill out the inspection log. But do we need to sound everything all day long to do all that?
Absolutely not. So I mentioned a couple things that basically all the devices are just going to flash and beep once. That meets the testing requirement. There's still an inspection requirement, so you would still want to go around.
So make sure everything's there.
You still want to, exactly, you want to make sure it's not painted over or obstructed.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely, it's super quick.
Awesome. Yeah.
Not disruptive.
It makes it real easy. It's very convenient. And let's face it, when it comes to some of the manual testing, there's a huge cost savings there, because if you're able to test a device, especially if there might be a trouble in the system, and we know because of the addressable device, the panel's going to tell us, hey, this device in this room is not operating properly, as opposed to an entire circuit that's not operating properly.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to test everything again. So it's going to take a lot less time when it comes to doing that service call, to making that repair, and then doing that testing afterwards.
Yeah.
So there's a savings for the customer when it comes to inspection time, or the repair time when we're out there in the field.
And not only savings, so you're also going to improve your accuracy. So I've seen inspection reports year to year where one year you have 100 devices because that inspector found 100 devices. The next year there's 110 devices, and the customers are saying, well, why is this different? Why is there 100 last year and 110?
Right.
I haven't changed my system. But now that everything's addressable, you're going to be 100% accountable and accurate every single time, because all those devices are reporting uniquely to the panel.
Great.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.